Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some very intriguing news going on as of right now, because we actually have the good old Xbox boss, Phil Spencer himself, actually finally making some official comments in regards to PlayStation, in regards to the kind of really big rumors of the brand new PlayStation Sporticus, which is essentially like the Sony version of the Xbox Game Pass, and just all around very intriguing stuff. It's kind of surprising though, because you don't really ever see too much stuff coming from Sony in regards to what, like, say, Nintendo or what Xbox are doing. They kind of keep a little bit more on like the low key and more chill side. But funny enough, I feel like Phil Spencer every other week kind of comes up and brings his own thoughts in the gaming universe, which I'm okay with, because I just feel like he's in a good position of he knows what he wants to do and he doesn't really care what everyone else is doing. It doesn't really necessarily change Xbox, but it's always funny. A little bit of a quick side note, it's always fun that we always kind of see Xbox always bring up PlayStation and mention PlayStation, but on the reverse side, we almost never hear anything from Nintendo or as well Sony. So I just like it. I like someone who's actually more proactive with the community, able to go talk with people and kind of chime in their own thoughts. It's a little bit better, at least in my opinion as well, than just kind of like just an empty wall or a brand. But that's kind of just my take on it. So let's go and talk about this, because it's always intriguing to see, because right now the Xbox Game Pass is the one major thing kind of keeping like the Xbox super ahead of everyone. And I agree, I love Game Pass. I have it myself. So if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc, digital console, and controller. Twitter and Twitch stream as well, link down below. Sign up for Weeble, deposit $100. You guys go get free stock and free money. Same with that Coinbase too as well, link down below. And let's go and dive into the video itself. And as always, I want to hear your thoughts and comments down below. So, like, so there's actually a brand new interview that came out with Phil Spencer, so it's kind of what we're going to be chiming out over here and showcasing up his kind of thoughts, comments, and quotes, because I just love seeing this type of stuff. I love kind of hearing what other, like, the really big figureheads are thinking, and I think a lot of this is also leaning towards more on the support side. So while it might be like people always like that drama and like that juicy gossip, this actually kind of seems like he's just more down with it, so let's go talk about it. So yeah, so over here, basically the article itself from Tech Radar stating, Xbox boss Phil Spencer says a PlayStation version of the Xbox Game Pass is inevitable, which I would actually kind of agree on that too as well. Right now, and you guys have probably heard me say it a bajillion times on the channel, or even you guys yourselves would think it, the Xbox Game Pass is very high quality. You have so many various indie games, you get brand new AAA games on day one, and overall, it's just, I feel like something that most gamers, if you have a PC or Xbox, should honestly have, especially, I mean, you can always maybe have it on off, whatever new games you're kind of intrigued on could go and play, stuff like that, but I just feel like it's good. So, even right now, they're also calling out PlayStation, but at least it's on the bright side. He even reckons that even Project Spartacus, the brand new PS Now, PS Plus, Xbox Game Pass alternative for Sony, is a good idea. So let's go into his quotes. Basically, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox himself, says it is an inevitability that PlayStation will produce its own version of the Xbox Game Pass, which I think is almost kind of smart too as well to kind of call it up as of right this second, mainly because it kind of puts like the, hey, you liked our idea, you liked our product, you liked what we were making so much, you just want to go and copy it. Oh, I see how it is, PlayStation. It almost kind of puts the ball in PlayStation's court, and it kind of goes and puts all the extra attention that, like, hey, I'm Phil Spencer. Hey, we're Xbox. We made this first. You're making your own Xbox Game Pass. Oh, that's awesome. And I feel like that's just really just good to go get that early marketing in general. So, speaking to IGN, they had a nice little article and basically talk about it, stating, there are some recent rumors surrounding the future of the PlayStation Plus, which if you guys have watched our videos, it kind of goes to show that we're kind of more so trying to move off of PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now and try to maybe have a new conglomerate system called PlayStation Spartacus, which also might include a lot of rumors maybe for things like Crunchyroll, anime, maybe even TV shows, game trials, and is overall the next big step when it comes to games. We don't have any more further information. We'll let you guys know for sure once we do hear some more. We'll kind of go and see. But basically, Phil Spencer goes and states that a Game Pass style services meet many players' interest and provide a freedom of choice that isn't given elsewhere. He expects that Sony will then be trying to emulate the success of Xbox's approach with a similar service of its own, and goes on to go and also state, I don't mean it to sound like we've got it all figured out, but I want to say I'll give them a little bit of credit. I do kind of feel like they kind of do have it figured out pretty well. Like, I think it's a very good value. They're probably making money off it, and every money they make every month and every year, they can just go and reinvest that into getting even more and more games. It's just a really good system. It's like a Netflix style system for games, and it's honestly, yeah, very smart. I'm happy it's in here because I kind of feel like it incentivizes things like Nintendo or Sony or even PC things to go and do the same. So When it comes to this one, he also goes on to say, but I think the right answer is allowing your customers to play the games they want to play, where they want to play them, and that's in regards to xCloud and live streaming, and giving them a choice on how to build their library. And then being transparent with them about what our plans are in terms of our PC initiatives and our cross-gen initiatives and other things. He goes on to say, so when I hear others doing things like Xbox Game Pass or coming to PC, it makes sense to me because I think that's the right answer. Now, I want to go and chime on this. It's kind of like an obvious duh, because if you have millions of folks on PC, you obviously want to sell your games on PC. Same thing when it comes to Nintendo. We'll probably be seeing Nintendo in the future moving into PC releases, because why not? Things like Mario Party and other various games would be very hot sellers, Mario Kart, especially on Steam or PC markets. It's just the fact that Nintendo's an older based company, same with Sony themselves, where they might just take a little bit longer to get through. But it's kind of like the most obvious duh. You're in a big courtroom with like 10 people being like, how do we get more sales? Well, have we done mobile? No. Have we done PC? No. Okay, which one's probably better? Okay, probably PC? Okay, cool. Like, it's a very, anyone with a brain can figure that out. But I do want to say the overall system, though, of the allowing folks to play any game for the amount of time that they want to entirely is a very nice system. I will 100% go and say, I think it's phenomenal, and I really think Game Pass is awesome. So it's kind of cool to go and have Phil Spencer kind of somewhat gloated on up and be like, hey, we're making good calls. Because I can give him vouchers. I think the Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass, phenomenal. I love it. I have it myself. I'll go and pat him on the back all the time he wants. But it's always kind of cool to kind of almost see them somewhat go and taunt Sony and be like, yeah, we see you guys like our idea. Well, when are you gonna make it? Are you gonna make it as better as ours? Can you afford it? Can you go and do it? So it's always kind of cool to go and see this. Just not necessarily drama, but it's cool just to see. So basically, he also goes and say, so when I hear others doing things like Game Pass or coming to PC, it makes sense to me because I think it's the right answer, and I agree. He adds that the industry's move to subscription-based services was always going to happen, which once again, I also agree on that too. Things like Netflix have been a phenomenal feature, and even cable has been moving more so to their own streaming services. Think like Paramount Plus, Disney as well. We're seeing all these other various things like HBO, Crunchyroll when it comes to Netflix. It just makes a lot of sense because you can basically go and fine tune it and probably still be very profitable. And a lot of people forget about their subscriptions or just kind of put things like Spotify as their day-to-day life where they want to have it no matter what. And now the big thing though, and this is kind of the big drama, it really does kind of come down to who can go and innovate and improve the best. Right now, I do think Microsoft doing day one AAA games is phenomenal. I think that's really good, especially with exclusives too as well, and also being on PC. That's so hard to beat, and that's why I just secretly hope that Sony would do the same. I would love it. I would love it if we'd be able to go play AAA games on Sony for $20 a month or whatever it is, and they'd probably make more money. Like, if you think about it, you go and you have a game like Ratchet and Clank. I mean, this probably happens to a lot of folks. You go buy the game, you pay it for $40, and then that's it. But if you were to go and have them on the subscription service for 3, 4, 5, 6 months or a whole year, guess what? You're making money even when they're not playing games. And I just think it's kind of smart. It's kind of surprising that Sony's not doing that as of yet. So even if Phil Spencer goes and says, when I'm talking to our teams, I talk about it as an inevitability. Spencer says, so for us, we should continue to innovate, continue to compete, because the things that we're doing right now might be advantageous, or I guess you could also, well, never mind. We can have the market today, but they're just based on us going first now that we've created something that no one else can go and create, which I do agree. Pretty much anyone when it comes to PlayStation, when it comes to PC, can in theory go make the same exact vibe. But the one thing is that once you kind of have it and you've had it for a long time, you learn on all the improvements. You learn about all the long-term stuff. You learn about what games worked, what games didn't, what's worth the money, what's not worth the money. And sometimes just doing it for 3, 4, 5 years longer than the competitors can kind of basically make you be a massive, massive first mover and have a really good standing in the overall everything. So, and I think for him, he also agrees, because I think the right answer is to ship great games, ship them on PC, ship them to console, ship them on cloud, and then make them available day one in the subscription. And I expect that's what our competitor will do. So even Phil Spencer himself is assuming that Sony's going to do the same kind of business model. And so far, we do have PS Now and also their own cloud gaming, which would make sense. They also do want to go and fine-tune Project Spartacus and make it better. And as well, they do have to compete against Xbox Game Pass, which also does have it on day one trials. Now, I really do think that PlayStation, if they did this and even allowed day one games, although they do focus more on game sales, I think it'd do phenomenal. I think it'd make a lot of money. I think it'd do really, really well. And overall, it's something that I kind of hope that Project Spartacus will at least consider in the near future. But it's always kind of cool to kind of see someone like Phil Spencer go and chime on in. The article then kind of goes into more so talk about the streaming wars, which I'd also agree to as well. xCloud is getting a lot of development and money, and also games too as well. Same with Google Stadia, also Amazon as well. And on top of that too, PlayStation already has had it for PlayStation Now. So we'll have to keep on seeing where everything kind of keeps on coming on out. But it's kind of cool for Phil Spencer to be like, hey, we have a good product, come copy us. We'll make it better. And I have to give him a little bit of credit towards all that gusto he has, because that's all, honestly, God, pretty respectful, because I do love Game Pass, and overall, I'd love to see Project Spartacus be a good competitor. So give me your thoughts and comments down below as well. Give me a good little subscription if you guys enjoyed the video. As well, we'll cover up more news all throughout these next few days as well. We have the Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console Controller. Twitter and Twitchroom as well, link down below. Sign up for Webull, deposit $100. You guys go get free stock and free money. In that Coinbase too as well, link down below. And of course, the Twitter and Twitchroom as I mentioned. And I'll see you guys later on throughout tomorrow for some more brand new videos. Love you guys.